Drake's image might have just taken the biggest hit of his entire career. And no, this isn't about a diss track. It's not about sales, streams, or chart positions. This is about who Drake really is behind the scenes. And what's just been exposed might be way worse than any lyric ever written about him. For months now, we've seen the back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar heat up. And during that time, Drake and his crew have been preaching the same message, that the truth will eventually come out. And when it does, people will regret ever doubting them. Well, that moment has arrived. And let's just say, it's not going the way Drake hoped. Leaked DMs between Drake and a major member of DJ Akademiks' team have surfaced, and what they reveal is nothing short of damning. These aren't messages taken out of context. These are full-on conversations that expose lies, manipulation, and a desperate attempt to control the narrative around his beef with Kendrick Lamar. Let's break it down. First off, these DMs show Drake conspiring with someone who helps run a large media platform, one that has consistently sided with him during his battle with Kendrick. They were exchanging strategies, discussing how to take down Kendrick, and plotting how to make Drake look like the winner in the public eye. But it goes deeper than petty gossip. Drake actually admitted in these DMs that he lied during his response in The Heart Part 6, specifically about setting Kendrick up with fake references. Remember when Drake claimed he sent fake info to Kendrick to bait him into a response? Turns out that was completely made up. In the DMs, Drake confesses he had no idea what Kendrick was going to use, and that he made that story up after the fact to save face. That alone shatters the credibility of his entire approach to the beef. But it doesn't stop there. These conversations show that Drake was doing exactly what he accused Kendrick of doing. He was leveraging connections, working behind the scenes with platforms, and even making shady deals to silence people who criticized him. Everything he pointed fingers at Kendrick for, Drake was doing too. Except now, we have the receipts. And let's talk about how weird some of these DMS are. One in particular stands out. Not for what it says about the beef, but for what it reveals about Drake as a person. In a message from the night her loss dropped, Drake is describing some kind of night out or party situation. The message is vague but heavily disturbing. It involves two people who, based on the numbers Drake used, should never have been in the same room together. The situation was clearly off-putting, but how did Drake respond? He ended the message with LOL. Seriously, that's what he said. LOL. It's hard to wrap your head around that. Here we are in the middle of a public character war. Drake and Kendrick trading blows not just musically, but over reputation and integrity. And Drake casually drops a message like this in the middle of it all. A message that raises serious ethical red flags, and he laughs it off like it's nothing. Even worse, the guy he's messaging claims it was from an interview Drake did, but no one can find that supposed interview. It doesn't exist. That's their excuse? Come on. This specific message might end up being the nail in the coffin, not because it's part of the rap beef, but because it's something Drake's label might not be able to overlook. If they decide this behavior has been ongoing, and if they feel like his character puts the brand or company at risk, they might just cut ties altogether. And let's be real, labels don't make those decisions lightly. But this isn't just about music anymore. This is about public perception, brand safety, and long-term viability. Drake might have been able to brush off a diss track, but can he brush off a pattern of weird behavior, manipulative DMs, and casual comments that make even his fans cringe? What's even more frustrating is how fake all of this makes Drake's image look. For so long, he's portrayed himself as this clever, above-the-fray mastermind, the guy who's always one step ahead, always cool under pressure. But what we see in these messages is someone completely different. Someone petty, someone insecure, someone obsessed with controlling how he's perceived rather than just letting the music speak for itself. This is the kind of energy you expect from a struggling artist trying to stay relevant, not one of the biggest rappers in the world. And meanwhile, Kendrick just keeps winning without even responding. Because every time something new like this comes out, Not Like Us starts to look less like a diss track and more like a prophecy. Kendrick said there was something off about Drake, and these messages prove he wasn't lying. But here's the part that really matters. These messages don't exist in a vacuum. They're not just petty gossip or harmless banter. They fit into a larger pattern, a pattern that shows Drake is willing to bend the truth, manipulate the media, and go behind people's backs to keep himself on top. He's not playing fair. He's playing desperate, and he's losing. The more you look at these messages, the clearer it becomes. Drake is not the cool, calm, collected genius his fans thought he was. He's not the chess master 10 steps ahead. He's the guy frantically texting his media team, trying to figure out how to spin a narrative that's already unraveling in front of him. If this is what he's saying to a guy who helps run a gossip page, what is he saying to people even deeper in his inner circle? What else is out there? Drake fans can try to dismiss this all they want, but facts are facts. And the facts show Drake lied, schemed, and behaved in ways that a man at his level of success should never have to. If his music is really that powerful, if his position is really that solid, why go through all of this? Why lie? Why manipulate? Why plot? Because deep down, Drake knows something has changed. He knows Kendrick struck a nerve. He knows Not Like Us did more than just hurt his ego. It exposed a truth he didn't want the world to see. And now, no amount of DMS, gossip page alliances, or shady backroom deals can cover that up. The irony in all of this? The more Drake tries to silence his critics, the louder Kendrick's words start to echo. The more he tries to rewrite the story, the more the original plot gets confirmed. And while Drake's busy trying to patch up his image, the rest of the industry is watching. The fans are watching, the labels are watching, and everyone is starting to ask the same question. Who is Drake, really? Because from the looks of it, we've only scratched the surface. And if this is how he acts when he thinks no one's watching, imagine what else we haven't seen yet. At the end of the day, this was never just about music. It was about truth. It was about character. And in trying so hard to destroy Kendrick's image, Drake may have completely shattered his own.